Credit Union. Financial intelligence pays off.
K2 News, voted Oregon's best investigative journalism.
This morning, terrorism on the train. 8 bombs, at least 200 dead in India, and security tightened in the United States. Is Al-Qaeda behind it? And we'll show you how to escape in an emergency. Scorched earth, 1,000 people evacuating ahead of fast-moving flames out west. A historic American town in danger. And some safety news. Did this teen's iPod make him a human lightning rod? What about your cell phone, your beeper? The facts coming up.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer and Robin Roberts.
And good morning, America. It's Wednesday, July 12th, 2006. Robin on vacation, and weekend anchor Bill Weir here this morning. And a lot of breaking news.
A lot of breaking news. The world's biggest democracy shaken this morning.
That's right, and we're going to bring you the latest, as we said, on this worldwide terrorism incident, and also take you to the Middle East, where there's breaking news this morning. Israeli troops are on the move. Things are at a boiling point, and we have more on that.
Also, we're going to take you live to Russia this morning. Here's a live picture of St. Petersburg, site of this weekend's G8 summit. We're going to have a conversation with the former Russian leader Mikhail Gorbachev, the man who broke down the wall to the west. What does he think of America now? Some stern words from him. We'll get to that in a moment. Also, an amazing medical miracle story. Man severely brain damaged in an accident. But in a twist, a medicine millions of us take to go to sleep may have woken him up, allowing him to talk, even toss a ball. It's the Ambien Miracle Awakening later in the show.
What a story that is. But first, let's go right to that rush hour massacre in Mumbai, which, of course, we've known as Bombay in India. Trains have long been vulnerable to terrorists. In the last 4 years alone, 400 people have been killed in terror strikes on trains. And our reporters are out this morning to cover all the angles on the latest one. ABC's Nick Watt is in India, and Elizabeth Leamy is in New Jersey. And she's going to tell us more about getting off a train in an emergency. But let's begin in Mumbai. Nick?
Diane, the radical Islamic group believed to be behind these bombings this morning issued a denial. A spokesman for the group, which has links to Al-Qaeda, called the bombings dastardly acts. However, Indian officials we've spoken to say they do not believe those denials. They say the attacks bear all the hallmarks of that group, which is fighting for independence of the northern state of Kashmir. Indian officials also told us they knew a terror attack was coming. They just didn't know where or when. This morning in the most modern Indian city, an air of defiance. The train's back in operation just 12 hours after the blast. We are not scared, said this man. We are all ready to go to work, and we shall be working like any other day. 6.5 million people ride these packed trains every day, and the scenes here were gruesome. Explosions ripped through 5 commuter trains and 2 stations. The first-class train cars were attacked here in India's commercial capital. Business workers targeted, apparently to cause maximum economic impact. Mumbai and other Indian cities have seen bombs before. In 1993, more than 250 people in Mumbai were killed in a similar series of attacks.
We are scared, but we have to go to school.
India's neighbor and historic enemy, Pakistan, condemned the attacks.
These are terrorist acts, and we are very disturbed by them, and we mourn the loss of many lives.
And the U.S. reaffirmed support for its ally in the war on terror.
We will stand with India on the war on terror. It simply shows that this kind of hideous incident can happen anywhere in the world against innocent people.
Police here in Mumbai have told us they carried out raids across the city throughout the night and arrested more than 100 members of a radical student group that has close ties to that group believed to be behind the bombings. Diane?
Okay, our thanks to Nick Watt. And as we were saying earlier, security has been heightened in American cities.
11 million Americans use trains or subways to get to work every day. So all those terrifying images of what happened in India have many asking, how safe are our trains? ABC's Elizabeth Leamy joins us from Jersey City, New Jersey commuter train station with that. Elizabeth.
Bill, this morning, a number of large cities across the U.S. do have extra subway security in place. There is no specific threat against U.S. trains, but they say they take any act of terrorism as a warning. extra police officers are riding the rails and searching passengers' bags. This comes just days after a foiled plot against New York area trains and tunnels. Houston added extra officers Tuesday. Atlanta already had them in place. San Francisco and Seattle raised their alert levels. Most cities say the steps they took after the London bombings are still in place.
It's very difficult to protect a rail system because it's so extensive. Since 1998 to the present, there have been 183 attacks on rail systems around the world.
And beyond terrorism, there's always the risk of train accidents. Like this rush hour derailment and fire last night in downtown Chicago. Dozens of people were treated for minor injuries.
You really couldn't see more than a few feet in front of you. People were crying, people were screaming.
These railroad risks mean it's important for regular riders to know what to do in an emergency. We rode along with Buffalo transit officials. They say the safest choice is to stay on the train. But if you're in immediate danger, you'll have to get off. And subway doors often get jammed.
Can I get out through this window?
Yes, you can kick out the window.
All right, so if I give it a good, like that.
Outside the train, another dilemma.
All right, now, which way do I go?
You want to walk into the fresh air.
In Buffalo, they recommend walking on the wider track bed. In other subways, that could be dangerous because of the electrified third rail. Regular riders need to get familiar with their systems. Look for the blue lights that mark emergency call boxes and let rescuers know you're in the tunnel as soon as possible. That's crucial because an oncoming train creates suction that can pull you into its path. That box you were looking at that looks kind of like a stereo speaker is actually cutting-edge screening technology that the Department of Homeland Security is testing at this station. It's supposed to be able to detect unusual objects like bomb belts on people's bodies. Now, that particular one is no inconvenience to anyone. They're also testing this booth. You have to step into it for a few seconds, and again, it screens your body for suspicious shapes. Bill, Diane?
Okay, Elizabeth, and speaking of Homeland Security, we saw a story in the New York Times this morning that had us all talking. It turns out there's an official government anti-terrorism database that identifies potential terror targets to help provide federal grants. And would you believe Old McDonald's Petting Zoo in Woodville, Alabama, or the Sweetwater Flea Market in Sweetwater, Tennessee, make the list? And another vulnerable target?
Terrorism targets the Amish Country Popcorn Factory in Bern, Indiana. In fact, 8,500 terror targets in Indiana alone compared to about 5,600 in New York. We're not surprised that Homeland Security's Inspector General says this database may be deeply flawed.
All right, time for the news now. Juju Chang of 2020 has major headlines. Good morning, Juju.
Good morning, Bill and Diane. Good morning, everyone. We begin with the president's European trip. As he makes his way to the G8 summit, he'll stop first in Germany. ABC's Jessica Yellen is awaiting the president's arrival in the town of Rostock. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning, Juju. Here in Germany, President Bush will tour the old East German town where his host, Chancellor Angela Merkel, grew up. It's the start of a different kind of foreign trip for President Bush, one in which the U.S. is actually expected to reach foreign policy agreements with other key world leaders.
The president starting his trip on a high note, visiting his new best friend on the international stage, German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
She's a straightforward person. She tells me what's on her mind. She's a woman of good judgment. She's a strong leader.
The warm bond between Bush and Merkel is a striking change from the bitter tension between the U.S. and her predecessor over the Iraq War. And it's one sign of the new spirit of cooperation that's expected to mark the next week of summit diplomacy for the president. Later this week, Mr. Bush heads to the G8 summit in Russia, an annual gathering where uber-polite photo ops have masked behind-the-scenes anger over Iraq. But this time, it's different.
Basically, there's more agreement than disagreement this time around.
The war is expected to take a back seat as the leaders grapple with the growing threats of a nuclear North Korea and Iran.
The trip is not expected to be tension-free. Of the G8 nations, only Britain is committed to keeping troops in Iraq, and the U.S. is expected to face some disagreement with other nations on whether to impose sanctions on Iran and North Korea. Juju?
Thanks, Jessica. Jessica Yellen reporting from Europe. Coming up live from Russia, we'll hear what former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev has to say about the Bush administration and the future of U.S.-Russia relations. And breaking news out of the Mideast, what's being described as a, quote, act of war, a Lebanese guerrilla attack. 2 Israeli soldiers have been kidnapped. ABC's Wilf Dinnick has the latest from Jerusalem.
Good morning, Juju. Yes, heavy fighting along the Israeli-Lebanese border this morning. Reports are that 7 Israeli soldiers have been killed. Now, this all started after 2 Israeli soldiers were kidnapped early this morning by Hezbollah, a militant group based in Lebanon. Israeli officials here in Jerusalem meeting in emergency sessions to figure out their next move. But already, Israeli troops moving into southern Lebanon to look for those 2 kidnapped Israeli soldiers. Juju?
Thanks to Wilf. Security breach at the State Department to tell you about. Several computers have been hacked in the last month, and investigators looking into the attacks say they don't yet know what information may have been stolen. It's believed the hackers targeted offices that deal with China and North Korea. And now to those wildfires raging in the West. A 17,000-acre fire is burning in Southern California, destroying 30 buildings in Pioneer Town, where many old Hollywood westerns were shot. More than 1,000 residents were forced to leave their homes as the flames advanced. Up in the Bay Area, a wall of flames swallowed everything in its path, including this truck. 12 miles of interstate had to be shut during rush hour, and gusty winds and hot temperatures are making it difficult for the firefighters. And finally, the American League once again has home field advantage in the World Series thanks to a dramatic 9th-inning come-from-behind All-Star Game victory. The AL was a strike away from losing when Texas Ranger Michael Young slapped this 2-run triple. They held on to a win 3-2, and the AL hasn't lost an All-Star Game in 10 years. Coincidence or what? It's 7-11 now. And now it's time for Diane and Bill, speaking of All-Stars.
Oh, you're so kind.
Smooth
Sympathy
transition.
ballot votes. Time for the weather. Mike Bars, another All-Star, joins us downstairs. Hey, Mike.
Can the National League win it just once, please? Let's get you caught up on the weather, folks. The Northeast in for another round of thunder shower activity. I want to show you some video of yesterday. Exeter, New Hampshire got a round of thunder shower activity, brought some hail with it. Large hail, in fact, came down on some cars, damaging some of them the size of baseballs. Wendell, Mass, they had extensive damage from the storms as well. Several homes were damaged. Power outages reported due to high winds. More wild weather in the forecast. For that area today, we are seeing a big system making its way across the Northeast and into the Ohio Valley. Down in the southern plains, expect hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds at times, tornadoes possible, and flooding from those intense downpours. And that's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
How does it feel to be up with the sun? Start today on the run.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We are starting off the day with several showers across the region, especially in the Willamette Valley, but even in eastern Oregon, east of the Cascades, we're seeing some shower activity as well. The cold front has yet to move through the area, but should do so by about noon. We'll still see a leftover random shower or two and see a high between 70 and 72 degrees. Then tonight, the showers decrease dramatically in your 5-day forecast and 10-day trend, showing maybe a shower or two tomorrow morning, but then we dry out, and the weekend ahead is looking great with numbers in the mid to upper 80s.
Who's reporting this morning from St. Petersburg? Claire.
Diane, good morning. There has been huge tension in the U.S.-Russian relationship lately, mainly because the United States is pursuing a new diplomatic strategy, trying to keep the larger strategic partnership intact while publicly criticizing the reversal of democracy that's been going on here in Russia. Now, we found that Mikhail Gorbachev, who is still politically involved, had some strong views on the subject.
On a recent rainy afternoon, we caught up with the man who paved the way for this weekend's historic meeting. Though friendly as ever, the former Soviet leader had a warning for his Western friends about recent attacks on the state of democracy in Russia.
We have made some mistakes, so what? Please don't put even more obstacles in our way. Do you really think you are smarter than we are?
And to questions about whether Russia is off course in its quest for democracy, he accuses Americans of arrogance.
Americans have a severe disease, worse than AIDS. It's called the winner's complex. You want an American-style democracy here. That will not work.
He dismantled the Cold War with one President Bush, and he's wry about his son.
He's very determined. You can't say he doesn't have character.
But blistering about Vice President Dick Cheney and Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld.
They're just hawks protecting the interests of the military. Shallow people.
Mikhail Gorbachev is a regular Kremlin critic too these days, but also a regular visitor. Vladimir Putin, under fire at home for authoritarian tactics, often seeks advice on sensitive issues.
I told him I didn't understand why he had cancelled state elections. There is no glasnost, no elections here like there used to be in 89 and 90.
Out of office for 15 years and not always popular, Gorbachev's reputation is finally improving at home. And he clearly likes the role of active senior statesman. He's just bought a controlling interest in an opposition newspaper. As a few interns gather for photographs, we wonder whether he's wistful about his days in power.
I'm 75 years old. Enough is enough.
Ultimately, despite the criticism, Gorbachev is a Putin supporter. He's impressed by his ability to create stability out of chaos.
Vladimir Putin is walking on a razor's edge.
Is he a Democrat, though, we asked?
Putin has used and he will continue to use authoritarian measures. But Russia will form a democracy. I know Vladimir Putin. He is a moral person.
In his office on this day, he's consumed with another, even more compelling subject, a story about his two grown granddaughters. That, for him, is where the political becomes extremely personal.
I want my grandchildren to live in a democratic country, in a peaceful world. But it's hard to imagine this because there are so many answers we still need to find.
Now, one of the more remarkable things about the time we spent with Gorbachev is that he was so much more straightforward and direct than he used to be. I've done a number of interviews with him over the years, and he's had a notoriously circular and long-winded way of speaking. But I suppose, Bill, that when you're not running the show, it's a little easier to be blunt.
The elder statesman in Russia. So compelling. Claire, thanks very much. Well, back at home, we turn now to a summer safety alert. There is more lightning in July than any other month, and it can be devastating. Case in point here, lightning destroyed this Florida mansion over the weekend, sparked wildfires out west, so it's important to stay out of the path. But could ordinary cell devices, cell phones, iPods, make you a human lightning rod? For a reality check, we're going to ABC's Nancy Weiner in Central Park this morning. Nancy.
Bill, we all carry around so many electronic devices every day. You've got the MP3 player, the cell phone, the pager, the BlackBerry. But now some doctors are saying that all these electronic devices may actually make us more vulnerable in a lightning storm.
All these little red dots, as they say, it's where the nerve endings where the electricity kind of tried to get out of my body.
The bolt of lightning that hit Colorado teen Jason Bunch last week shredded his T-shirt, fused his hair together, and what's worse, turned the iPod he was wearing into a kind of conductor.
Where the earbud headphones were, and the burn, basically, yeah, they ruptured my eardrums, and it burned me all the way down here on my chest. You can see the line.
In 2004, a 19-year-old Houston woman died when she was struck while talking on her cell phone.
I tried, to help her out, but I couldn't do anything anymore.
So, can an electronic device make a lightning strike worse? In a recent issue of the British Medical Journal, 3 London doctors warned mobile phones outdoors during stormy weather are a public health issue because of their conductive properties. They cited the case of a 15-year-old British girl, now severely disabled, who was struck last year while talking on her cell. But at this lightning detection center in Tucson, Arizona, they say a cell phone or MP3 player is no more dangerous in a storm than a set of keys or loose change.
What you're wearing or carrying really doesn't have anything to do with whether you'll be hit.
Meteorologist Ron Hawley says, frankly, all 25 million lightning flashes that hit American soil each year have the power to kill, no matter what you're carrying. He says it's also a myth that metal objects in your pockets attract lightning.
It's looking for something tall, looking for something isolated. Those are the issues that matter.
But there is one device experts say you do need to worry about in a storm, a corded home phone, which should be used only in emergencies.
The surge of current from the lightning hitting that pole will come into the house, and you're holding this up to a year. Now, that's really a significant event.
Another common myth is that somehow rubber tires of a car will keep you safe in a storm. Experts say that's not true. It's the hard-sided top of the car and the metal cage that keeps you safe, but best of all is to get inside a building. Bill and Diane?
Okay, Nancy, thanks very much. Well, coming up on the show, the man who was in a brain injury fog for 8 years, but a most popular sleeping pill woke him up. Ambien.
Impossible, but wait till you see what happened. Also coming up, we're going to swim with the sharks, a shark tale. And you're going to meet an 11-year-old who really learned about dressing for success. No kidding. Became a mogul. How? We'll tell you.
If you use those over-the-counter drops several times a day, you may have chronic dry eye due to decreased tear production without knowing it, like me. And my doctor prescribed Restasis.
With continued use, Restasis helps increase your natural ability to produce tears, which may be reduced by inflammation due to chronic dry eye. It should not be used by patients with active eye infections and has not been studied in patients with a history of herpes viral infections of the eye. The most common side effect is a burning sensation.
More of my own tears. Thanks, Restasis.
From flash to finish, it's as easy as connecting the dots. With online service, 1-hour processing, even home delivery, all at the Walmart price.
Do you think this is the best coffee in the world?
Flights to Venice to try the coffee, $0. Flights to Istanbul, Kona, and Seattle to try the coffee, $0.
Now this is the best. The pie is great too.
Best in the world. Traveling for any reason at all, priceless. Use your MasterCard and you could win 500 round-trip tickets anywhere in the world to share with anyone.
Stu, how does new Tidy Cats litter work?
Well, each granule is formulated to absorb quickly and lock in odor better than ever.
So can I invite some friends?
Yes.
New Tidy Cats. Multiple strengths for multiple cats.
Hey.
Hey.
That'll be 75. It's usually $30.
I went to Vegas last weekend. Pretty crazy. Although it seemed like you were having a much better time.
So, 75?
Yep.
Nice job on the lawn today.
We aim to please.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:22, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news this morning. A controversial nationwide program to prevent the birth of drug babies has come to Portland. Project Prevention offers drug addicts $300 to get long-term birth control. The founder says she wants to spare children the pain of being born into bad situations or with birth defects. But critics say the $300 will simply be drug money for more addicts. Portland police closed off several blocks of the Hollywood district yesterday, searching for a bank robbery suspect. Using thermal imaging equipment, police found Robert Lee Wingfield, whom they say robbed a Milwaukee bank, then led them on a high-speed chase. Wingfield was also wanted for several other crimes. Authorities in Portland and Tigard responded to a pair of gas leaks yesterday afternoon. In Portland, a worker accidentally cut into a natural gas main, closing down Northwest 6th and Hoyt for hours. The same thing happened in Tigard, but this time the gas caught fire. But a quick response from firefighters kept damage to a minimum. It's time now to check on the morning commute. Here's Travis Demers with Beat the Traffic. A lot of accidents this morning, huh, Travis?
Yeah, Julia, especially on the west side of town this morning. On the Sunset eastbound, we got an accident blocking the right lane to 217 southbound. Same thing on the westbound side on the ramp at 217 southbound. The eastbound one is causing backup to Cedar Hills. Once you get beyond that, pretty heavy here, as you can see, approaching I-405 here on the Sunset Highway. On the east side of town, expect traffic as you're approaching I-5 on the Banfield. We can look outside and see some heavy traffic here at 53rd. Also, accidents report at Walker and 158th rather, and Glencoe Road and Zion Church Road in Beaverton and Hillsborough, respectively. That's Beat the Traffic. Julia, back to you.
Thanks so much, Travis. That is the news for now. We'll be right back with a look at the forecast.
Dive into summer with LA Weight Loss and lose up to 7 pounds in 1 week.
I lost 8 pounds in the first week. 8 pounds. I bought a whole new wardrobe. Tank tops, halter tops, bikinis. I lost 7 pounds in the first week. You can do it.
I knew I was LA when I bought my first two-piece bathing suit. Bathing suits, short skirts, thank you, LA Weight Loss.
For the center nearest you, call 1-866-485-SLIM.
This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
Free gifts and free financing at Sleep Country? It feels a lot like Christmas in July. For a limited time, get free pillows, sheets, bed frame, or mattress pad with selected Simmons, Sealy, Spring Air, or Pacific mattress sets. Plus, make no payments and pay no interest when paid by Christmas. It's like Christmas in July at Sleep Country. Guaranteed comfort, best selection, lowest price.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else? Are you reeling in me?
Steely Dan, Michael McDonald. A rare opportunity to see these performers together. July 27th at the Clark County Amphitheater. An unforgettable evening under the stars with Steely Dan and Michael McDonald. Reserve seats at all Ticketmaster outlets or online at livenation.com. Brought to you by Live Nation.
Your forecast for the afternoon, well, it's going to be showery. We're already seeing plenty of rainfall around the area. Now, it's not a lot in the rain bucket itself, but it is enough to get the streets wet. And, of course, that's making for some slick conditions. Let's take a look outside from the Inn at Spanish Head Resort Hotel in Lincoln City. This is a live look. It's a gray morning there, and plenty of rain has fallen. And on Storm Alert Doppler radar, you can see where the showers are at this time. Most of them across Washington and Columbia counties. We're seeing some rain in Tillamook and Clatsop County as well. On the bigger picture, the cold front has yet to move through the area. It should do so by about noon. After that, we will continue to see a random scattered shower here and there throughout the rest of the day. Currently 60 degrees in Portland, 59 in Vancouver, light rain falling in Aurora, and also in parts of Washington County. Hillsborough should be getting some rain any minute now. We will reach a high of about 70 to 72 degrees this afternoon with a chance of rain and mostly cloudy skies. And then overnight tonight, the showers gradually begin to decrease. We still will see a chance of rain by tomorrow morning, but it rapidly dries out. And tomorrow afternoon, we're looking at a high of 74 degrees, and the sun should probably peek out by the late afternoon. And on Friday, partly cloudy skies, high of 76. And by the time Saturday and Sunday rolls around, we are back to good old-fashioned July weather with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We'll have another look at local news and weather coming up in about 30 minutes. We hope to see you then, but if not, have a fantastic day.
$4.99, not for the piece. Starting at $4.99 for the room. It's Wick's incredible summer Price Buster sale. Save big on select rooms. For 1 week only, our best-selling living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms. Starting at $4.99. And not for the piece. Starting at $4.99 for the room. Plus interest-free till 2010. Interest-free till when? 2010. But it all ends Tuesday at Wick's.
It's time to hit the road rolling at Olinger Travel Home's 2006 model clearance sale.
Olinger celebrating 35 years with unbeatable prices on all remaining 2006 models. Drive away with a new Sprinter trailer with slide for under $160 per month. Or in a new Itasca motorhome with slide for under $510 per month.
Don't wait to take advantage of our 2006 model clearance sale. Only 1 week left.
Olinger Travel Homes, simply unbeatable.
This summer, get the sunblock that also blocks the bite. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast Sunblock and Repellent. Up to 8-hour protection against harmful rays and pesky bites without the odor. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast. Block the burn and the bite. This summer, get the sunblock that also blocks the bite. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast Sunblock and Repellent. Up to 8-hour protection against harmful rays and pesky bites without the odor. New Bullfrog Mosquito Coast. Block the burn and the bite.
We treasure family time. Those are the things that I cherish most. Those are the memories that we create. It's the things that I hope that as my children grow up, they'll look back on and think of how wonderful their childhood was. Moments that I see my children having so much fun, just genuine fun, melts my heart. It just reminds me of when I was younger.
Build-A-Bear Workshop, where best friends are made.
We're creating memories that will last a lifetime.
What does it mean to be mobile? It means no limits, no must-haves or got-tos. Being mobile means having something when and where you want it. Now K2 News is mobile with K2 Podcast. From local and national news to headlines and current events. Pick the stuff you want to see. Plug in your media player, then take it with you. News that's mobile. And K2's the only local station that has it. Just click on the side of K2.com and see what life is like being mobile with K2 Podcast.
Get straight teeth in half the time.
Today at 9.
Swimming with the sharks this morning. Not for the faint of heart. We're going to go along for the ride, though. A real-life Jaws. Are great whites really so scary? Do they just have a PR problem? Welcome back, everybody. Good morning, America. Robin is away on vacation. Bill Weir is here.
Insert your own lawyer joke there.
Yeah, it's true.
Good morning, everybody. Also coming up, do clothes make the man? Take a look at this sharp-dressed gentleman. He's a 11-year-old self-made mogul, and the key to his success, those 12 suits in his closet. We're going to tell you where he made his mark. We'll give you a little hint. His corporate headquarters, the sidewalk outside Grandma's house.
That's true. He's also thinking about selling his secrets to others, I bet. Also, this morning, the incredible shrinking stars. What is going on here? They keep doing it. Actresses like Kate Bosworth, Keira Knightley, not just thin, not just really thin, but disappearing before our eyes. And we're going to take a closer look this morning at what it means about what they're eating, not eating, and something new online that a lot of girls are getting hooked on.
And Diane, a little bit later on, we'll give you a tour of the best school you hope your kid never gets into. I'm going to take you to Seattle, and we're going to meet some children who teach us the true meaning of bravery in the face of mortality, and teachers who have kindness unsurpassed.
Can't wait for that. But first, our special series now, Medical Mysteries, Secrets of the Brain. A young man was hurt in an accident 8 years ago. His brain seriously injured, leaving him unable to walk, talk, or even feed himself. But you're going to see what happened when doctors gave him a pill they thought would put him to sleep. And in fact, he awoke. ABC's Mike Von Frem brings us this story.
George Melendez was a driven young man who had always had a passion for baseball. In college, he played on the varsity team. But in 1998, during his junior year, his parents learned that he may never play ball again.
We got the call at 4 o'clock in the morning from the hospital telling me that my son was on life support.
George had been in a devastating car wreck, resulting in severe brain injury. This is George today, 8 years later. He has full-time care at home and cannot walk or feed himself. There is no cure for this kind of brain damage.
Take the ball.
But imagine if there were something that could help reverse George's state. For George, there is. It's the sleeping pill Ambien. Paradoxically, the pill that helps millions of Americans sleep at night actually helps George become more alert. Here is George before Ambien. And this is George after a dose of the drug, a different person.
What? Can he tickle you? No. I knew it was the medicine, the Ambien.
Dr. Ralph Klaus has studied the effects of Ambien on just 3 patients, including George. He speculates that while brain injury may cause some parts of the brain to remain dormant, sometimes the drug may temporarily reverse this change.
We are seeing restoration of consciousness and restoration of function in our patients.
Dr. Nicholas Schiff studies brain injuries and has never seen the phenomenon. But he does think this finding is important.
I'm not surprised to hear that. I think it's a piece with a lot of things that really deserve more attention and more study.
Doctors say the side effect of Ambien is very rare. Many brain-injured patients take Ambien and never have the same sort of awakening as George. Still others say it could be the brain healing itself, causing the alertness, not the Ambien. Pat received a prescription for George in 2002, when his constant moaning prevented them both from sleeping at night. The surprise came 10 minutes after George received his first dose.
I noticed there was no sound coming out of George, and I looked over to the next bed and I said, "Hey, George, And he comes and says, "What?" I tugged at my husband. Look, he's talking. Hey, George, are you sleepy? Not at all?
Pat and her husband spent the rest of the night making this videotape of George, who for the first time since his accident was alert, responsive, and talking.
Can you say the word no? So, say it. No. There you go.
Your voice. I love your voice.
That was perfect, Georgie.
Swallow. Swallow.
Since that very first dose in 2002, Pat has given George Ambien 3 times a day, every day.
The little changes we see, they're monumental to us.
We had to see this Ambien-induced transformation with our own eyes. When we arrived at the house, George was unresponsive, stiff, and uncomfortable. His last dose of the drug had been the night before. But after his morning dose of Ambien, this is what we saw.
What's your name? I can't hear you. Find your voice. What's your name? George.
Can you show me the number 1? The number 2? Wow. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that you're hearing exactly what I am saying to you.
Pat says George will show effects from the drug for hours before it wears off. Doctors cannot say whether he will continue to improve on Ambien, but for now, Pat is happy just to have a little more of her son back.
Thank you. Wow.
For Good Morning America, Mike Von Fremd, ABC News, Houston.
Again, it's just astonished everyone. Dr. Klaus and his colleagues have applied for a usage patent for the active ingredient in Ambien, zolpidem, for brain-damaged patients. But when we reached out to the makers of Ambien, they had this to say: because the use of Ambien in this study is not an FDA-approved indication, it would be inappropriate for us to speculate on its use in this investigational patient population. But miracles sometimes happen. Mike Bars has the weather.
It's remarkable, Diane. Good morning, everybody. It remains dry and hot out in the west, and that is not helping the wildfires, which continue to burn out of control. When I show you some video right here of Pioneerstown, California out there. That's where wildfire has been started by lightning. It started on Sunday, already burned over 15,000 acres, taking down several structures with it. People in California aren't the only ones affected by the wildfire in Las Vegas. The smoke has led to reduced visibility there. More hot, dry weather in the forecast. Much of the west will remain on high fire alert. Look for these temperatures right here in Phoenix, 113, 2 shy of a record. Rapid City, 102, more than 15 degrees above normal. And that's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. We're looking at scattered showers throughout the day today here in the Portland metro area. A cold front moving through the region will continue to bring us an on and off chance of rain throughout the day, gradually decreasing tonight, and maybe a random shower tomorrow morning. But then we begin to dry out tomorrow afternoon.
And this portion of the weather brought to you by Chase. Diane, Bill.
All right, Mike. It's time for our continuing coverage on the headbutt heard around the world. There, the World Cup headbutt. It's now, well, there he is, Zinedine Zidane. You've seen it a million times now, going after the Italian defender Marco Materazzi. Materazzi actually says now he did insult Zidane, denies calling him a terrorist, denies insulting his mother. But we'll never, I guess, know exactly sure.
You mozzarella, you. What do they say in Italian? I don't know.
Meatball. But now we have a home game version of all of this. It's Headbutt, the video game. The object is to put down as many Italian defenders as you can before getting a red card. And another fun way to waste time at work.
Why is it you can't get enough? We're all just watching it repeat itself over and over again. Anyway, coming up, swimming with sharks. GMA goes along for the ride. Here's a quiz for you. Which is more dangerous, a shark in the sea or if you found one in your soup bowl and you ate it? The answer.
No matter what you love, all you need is a Chase Rewards card. Everybody loves to earn free rewards. Find the card you'll love at ChooseChase.com.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going Going during the movies and hating to stand up. Going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
Speeches for you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going. And I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
Refreshes your body. Won't harm your skin. It's Dove with a twist. The Dove Cool Moisture line. It's everything your skin thirsts for.
Pepe madame.
Add more flavor the fun way with new McCormick grinders.
Monsieur. Pepe mademoiselle. Mademoiselle.
Grinders from McCormick. The taste you trust.
I can't believe it.
Would you like to win $1 million from Publishers Clearinghouse this summer?
Oh, yeah!
Go to PCH.com at once. Or enter by mail, and this summer you could be a millionaire.
We can't see our insides. I can't see my heart. How do I know what kind of shape it's in? I cannot. But I can eat things like soy protein that can help keep it healthy. So I drink Silk.
It's here, the new Beaverton store. Grand opening sale.
It's one of the largest events ever at Standard TV and Appliance. We're celebrating our new live showroom in Beaverton on Southwest Hall. Right now, all Standard stores have slashed prices on top brand appliances, mattresses, big screens, and more.
Don't miss it. The grand opening sale going on right now at Standard TV and Appliance.
After the hour now, and when you're at the beach putting a toe in the water, do sharks ever cross your mind? Chances are they do. Sharks, in fact, top the list of summertime fears, but the reality is they should be the ones worrying. Many species of this great fish disappearing at a rate of 75% in the last 20 years, 3 out of 4. And explorer Jean-Michel Cousteau, he's the son of the legendary Jacques Cousteau, he believes that is bad news for the rest of us on the food chain. And in his upcoming PBS special, Sharks at Risk, he shows us why. I spoke to him and marine biologist Holly Lois from New York's famed Coney Island. Good morning to both of you. Thanks for being with us. Truly the most amazing part of this film, Jean-Michel, is a scene when you actually go for a ride on a great white. How is that possible? What was that like?
Well, first of all, I want to state the fact that I did it. I will not do it again, and I strongly recommend that nobody else does it. But I wanted to show that these animals are not the nasty man-eaters that everybody believes they are. In fact, they're extremely timid. And if you are surrounded, in my case, with all the security, and if you have no food in the water, nobody's spearfishing or fishing, then I did it in all confidence because I had the right people with me. But these animals are not the man-eaters that everybody is saying they are.
In terms of a PR campaign, Jean-Michel, you know, Save the Whales is a much easier sell than Save the Sharks. Even though you say 3 out of 4 have been wiped out in the last 25 years, a lot of people would say good riddance. Why are they so vital?
First of all, any species, plants or animals in our environment, every one of them play a very important role. But in the case of the sharks, we know that the majority of them, not all of them, and the majority of them are scavengers, which means they keep our life support system clean. So there might be, out of the 400 species, there might be 5, 6 that have caused accidents, unfortunately, because people put themselves in situations where an accident can happen, whether the water is turbid, there is blood in the water, there is chum, there is a struggling fish on the line. All of those are indications for a potential attack, which is usually a mistake, but unfortunately, it can be very, very dramatic.
They are dramatic, and they certainly get headlines there, but as you say, very rare as well. In fact, you pointed out, I believe, that it's more dangerous biting into a shark fin, as you might be able to do in Asian countries, than it is being eaten by a shark, yes?
What the scientific community now is coming up with as a proof of the real issue that may affect the health of people is the fact that in some species, dorsal fins or other fins, there's a very, very high level of mercury. And that can affect your nervous system. In case of a pregnant woman, it can be transmitted to the child. And that is something we have to be very, very careful about, and perhaps the way to save the sharks as well.
Jacques Cousteau opened our eyes to so much of this brilliant life beneath the sea as well. Holly, I know that you got on this dive to go down 200 feet on a reef in Polynesia to see a swarm of gray reef sharks there. What was that like?
Well, that was an amazing experience. I mean, first of all, we're diving in some of the prettiest clear water, visibility of well over 100, 150-foot visibility. But we were thrilled, and just to be down at 200 feet and just be in a school of 200 gray reef sharks, we realize it's becoming quite a rare sight around the world. So I feel like it's a real privilege and a great opportunity.
Well, the footage you brought back is really stunning. We look forward to seeing it. We thank you for the time and information this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The Jean-Michel Cousteau Ocean Adventure Series premieres Sharks at Risk. It's a new one-hour documentary tonight on PBS. 46 past the hour. Coming up next, the best-dressed lemonade stand vendor in the world. We'll speak to him about the pinstripes. Coming up.
Cholesterol. It can come from fettuccine Alfredo, but also from your Grandpa Alfredo, from barbecue ribs, and from your Aunt Barbie. A healthy diet is important. When that's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Cholesterol comes from two sources, food and family. Vytorin treats two sources. Only Vytorin helps block the absorption of cholesterol from food and reduces the cholesterol your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was also proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. So eat right, stay active. But if that's not enough, ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. Two sources of cholesterol. Treat them both with Vytorin.
Diane Mintz is a realtor. She helps people buy and sell real estate. But those aren't the only people Diane helps.
Every year I send inner city children to camp. They'd never heard of archery before, but now they can do archery. They're just kids who are proud of themselves for the first time.
She knows that something that the kids may learn from camp may change their life completely.
The Realtor Code of Ethics is about treating people fairly and honestly. I make a promise to conduct business fairly, and I've also made a promise to these kids.
Intelligent key technology that knows you. Seats that hug you. A ride that spoils you. The next Nissan Maxima, part of the next generation of Nissan thinking.
Put life in focus with Sears Optical. And right now, get a complete pair of glasses for just $99. Includes no-line bifocals, hundreds of styles to choose from. Sears Optical.
It's back! Get 4.99 financing for a limited time on every RV, every trailer, fifth wheels, and motorhomes, all at 4.99%. Own this Georgetown Class A for $540 a month.
Save now with 4.99 financing at Paulsville RV.
The K2 Storm Alert Weather Team, Rhonda Shelby and Rod Hill, with Julia Radlick and Joe English. The K2 Storm Alert Weather Team, keeping your family safe and ahead of the storm. Only on K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Home isn't just where you live. It's a sanctuary, a place where everything should be designed around you. So at Paul Schatz, we offer complimentary design services for all your decorating needs. Our interior designers can help you find your style. From contemporary designs to traditional collections, there's no better place to get a picture of what you need. At Paul Schatz Furniture, your home. Save now during our store-wide summer sale.
All right, we want you to meet someone. His name is Ethan Esparza, and he has turned himself into an 11-year-old mogul in Minneapolis in his grandmother's front yard. And how did he do it? He learned something really important about how you dress and how you sell lemonade in this instance. And Ethan,
Dressing for success.
Good morning. You look great.
Good morning.
Now, I want to get this straight. When you started out, you were just wearing a T-shirt, and I understand you only made about $5 a day on your lemonade. What happened when you put on that suit?
Well, when I put on a suit, I made 30 to 40 bucks.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Very nice. And I understand you have, how many suits do you have?
I have 12.
You have 12 suits.
You got more suits than I have.
Now, can this be true that you've made about $1,500 selling lemonade?
Yes, yes. It is true.
What are you going to do with this money?
Well, I just spend it so much. But yesterday I opened my first savings account, so.
Oh, smart man.
Really
Very
proud.
smart.
Modern day Alex P. Keaton.
Right.
Now, how did you decide to put on a suit?
Well, my mom wanted me to put on a suit when it was the art fair, so she said, why don't you put on your suit? So I said, I will. And I made a lot of money that day, so.
Let me get this straight, though. It's the same lemonade in the T-shirt and the suit.
Yep.
Fabulous recipe.
But it's all a matter of stopping traffic, right? And when you see a small mogul sitting on a sidewalk in Minneapolis, you got to stop and purchase it. What do they say? What do your customers say to you?
Well, they say sometimes, they say like, hey, we have the new Bill Gates, entrepreneur and lots of stuff.
It must get hot out there in that suit.
Are you thinking about diversifying, perhaps iced teas or Kool-Aids?
I'm just curious, Ethan, if you would honor Casual Fridays during the summer.
No, the suit stays.
Keep it up, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Ethan. Have a good sales day.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll be back. That's great. Coming up on Good Morning America, the best school in America you hope your child never gets into. We'll meet the kids who teach us about bravery in the face of mortality. And also, the incredible shrinking celebrities, stars getting thinner and thinner. How much are they really eating?
My kids call me the finisher. Finish up in there.
Okay.
Finish your homework?
Yes.
Finish your vegetables. Something I thought I was finished with? Managing my acid reflux disease. I thought it was just bad heartburn, but my doctor said over time, stomach acid was damaging the lining of my esophagus. She prescribed Nexium. Said I needed more than heartburn relief. My esophagus needed repair. One prescription Nexium pill a day not only relieves my heartburn, it healed erosions in my esophagus. So I don't just feel better, I am better. And with the Purple Plus program, I get advice on nutrition, exercise, even ways to save on Nexium. My doctor did say headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain could be side effects of Nexium, and other serious stomach conditions may still exist.
Talk to your doctor about the healing Purple Pill.
I tell him you shouldn't do anything halfway. Let's finish up.
If you're without prescription coverage and can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Hey, Ted. See you next week.
Yeah, see you, buddy.
Bye, Ted. Did you pick up the mail for us?
Yeah, okay.
Have a great weekend, buddy.
Looks like everyone's going away this summer, thanks to the Hotels.com Great Summer Getaway. Our experts have found amazing deals in places like New York, Orlando, San Francisco, and more. So log on or call now. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
Why ask your doctor about Botox Cosmetic?
This is my time.
Everyone has their own reason. Go to BotoxCosmetic.com to find a doctor nearby. Ask your doctor about the one, the only Botox Cosmetic.
Isn't it about time?
Last weekend, millions of people experienced the biggest movie of the year.
Pirates.
It's the #1 movie in the nation.
Top that.
And the critics are hailing Pirates as well.
Welcome aboard.
It's the best movie of the summer, and bigger and better than the original. Breathtaking, spectacular, fantastic.
What?
It's wickedly funny and lives up to every expectation. Finally, a movie worth seeing over and over again.
Savvy.
It's everything you want in a movie and more. Pirates, rated PG-13, now playing everywhere.
$4.99, not for the piece. Starting at $4.99 for the room. It's Wick's incredible summer Price Buster sale. Save big on select rooms. For 1 week only, our best-selling living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms starting at $4.99. And not for the piece, starting at $4.99 for the room. Plus interest-free till 2010. Interest-free till when? 2010. But it all ends Tuesday at Wick's.
K2, the Spirit of the Northwest, congratulates St. Mary's Academy, the Oregon College Savings Plan, Oregon Super School of the Year, brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds.
More than half the students at St. Mary's Academy have a grade point average of 3.5 or above, and St. Mary's Academy students initiate many projects to benefit the community.
That's why K2 honors St. Mary's Academy as the Oregon College Savings Plan, Oregon Super School of the Year, brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds. K2, the Spirit of the Northwest.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Walt Disney Pictures, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, rated PG-13, now.
After the performances end and the stage goes dark, ever wonder what really happens? This Tuesday, ABC takes you where Idol has never gone with a new competition where you not only decide America's next superstar, but get to see everything else in between. And we mean everything. The One, Making a Music Star, premieres Tuesday, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Dive into summer with LA Weight Loss and lose up to 7 pounds in 1 week.
I lost 8 pounds in the first week. 8 pounds. I bought a whole new wardrobe. Tank tops, halter tops, bikinis. I lost 7 pounds in the first week. You can do it.
I knew I was LA when I bought my first 2-piece bathing suit. Bathing suits, short skirts, thank you, LA Weight Loss.
For the center nearest you, call 1-866-485-SLIM.
For a limited time, get free pillows, sheets, bed frames, or mattress pad with selected mattress sets. Plus, make no payments and pay no interest when paid by Christmas. It's like Christmas in July at Sleep Country.
Why buy a mattress anywhere else?
Bringing Northwest color into your home is as easy as opening a can of Miller Paint. Miller Paint was born in the Northwest and comes in a wide range of colors, uniquely inspired by the Northwest landscape. Easier yet, when you visit your Miller Paint store, you get friendly, expert advice that leads to picture-perfect results every time. If you can picture it, you can paint it. Miller Paint, our paint.
It's here. The new Beaverton store. Grand opening sale.
It's one of the largest events ever at Standard TV and Appliance. We're celebrating our new live showroom in Beaverton on Southwest Hall. Right now, all Standard stores have slashed prices on top brand appliances, mattresses, big screens, and more.
Don't miss it. The grand opening sale going on right now at Standard TV and Appliance.
The best summer ideas that never go out of style. Next, Martha.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the Spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7:58, and I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news. In a community alert this morning, it's been 4 days since a nurse from Washington disappeared. Police are looking for Dennis Carter. He was last seen at his Vancouver home early Sunday morning. A friend says he left a note saying he would return shortly, but never did. If you have any information, call the Clark County Sheriff's Office. Polk County has come up with a new way to house sex offenders as they transition back into society. After years of not having a place to put them, the county is now housing parolees inside the county's Community Corrections Office. 3 rooms have been set aside for them. Once they're in, they have 30 days to find new housing. It is time now to check on the morning commute. Travis Demers has a look at Beat the Traffic. A lot of accidents this morning, huh, Travis?
We had quite a few earlier, but they're all clear right now. We have a lot of slowdowns, though, as you can see here on Beat the Traffic on 205 northbound. It's slow from Johnson Creek up to Holgate. Southbound slow from Highway 213 to 10th Street, as we can see the heavy traffic here at Johnson Creek. The Banfield pretty standard, as is I-5 southbound across the bridge. Northbound, though, is pretty heavy from Wilsonville up to Lake Oswego, as we can see here. And again, Capitol Highway through the Terwilliger Curves. 217, slow northbound Progress to Denny. And southbound is slow from Canyon Road to Greenberg. Also standard commute on the Sunset. Julia, back to you.
Thanks so much, Travis. A little wet out there this morning, hence I'm sure the reason for a lot of accidents and the slow commute on the roadways. 60 degrees at the moment in Portland. Scattered showers continue to fall. However, it's just been a trace to maybe 1/10 of an inch at the most. The cold front, however, still has yet to move through the region, so we're going to continue to see a chance of scattered showers throughout the day today. A high of 72 degrees. The showers decrease overnight tonight. 5-day forecast and 10-day trend. We may see a random shower tomorrow morning, but then we dry out very quickly, and by the time the weekend rolls around, we are back up into the mid-80s with lots of sunshine.
This morning, we keep sounding the alarm, but they keep coming. Those startlingly thin girls, Keira Knightley, Kate Bosworth. In fact, just this morning in the newspaper, Anna Kournikova, the glamorous tennis star. We remember her sculpted, muscular body on your left there. Well, now she, too, is rail thin. So this morning, we're going to be doing some math, trying to crack the code and show you exactly what can be on a plate if you're going to sustain a body like that. How much are these girls really eating? And an exploration coming up. Good morning, America. It's Wednesday, July 12th, 2006. Robin's away. Bill Weir is here.
Good morning, everyone. We'll have the latest, of course, from Mumbai this morning, combing the wreckage of those trains after yesterday's terror strike killed more than 200. So many people want to know who's responsible. Is Al-Qaeda involved? We'll have the latest for you coming up.
And also, Bill is going to bring us life lessons from some very special students. Kids from a school, a great school you hope your child never gets into. Their inspiring story, and that's ahead. But we knew we would hear from you after yesterday, yes?
Yes, you indulged us in a rather personal debate here. How many kids do you have? What's the number? What's the good number?
Right.
We're considering a second in the Weir household. Juju is considering a third. She has 2 boys over there. So you weighed in. Here are the poll numbers. Whoa. According to all of you out there, 40% say I should have another child. Olivia deserves a brother or sister. And about 15% of you said I should have 3 more children. That's hilarious. Juju has 2 boys.
I want to say 16% said you should change that photograph.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, and I weighed most of those myself. Juju has 2. A lot of people saying, Juju, you should just stay put at 2.
I hope this is not a statement on my parenting, because, you know, frankly, and I want to know how many times did my husband vote? Okay?
Right. Yes. He was up all night in there as well. And then for all of you who are encouraging me, just so we're clear, I love my daughter so much.
He does.
But take a look at her. This is what I'm up against. This is nap time for Olivia Weir. She does this for 90 minutes at a stretch. She has the strength of 10 toddlers. We can't take any more.
Just to add to the hilarity of Olivia jumping up there in the crib, you know, I did a little reporting overnight, and there's another side to this story, because Angela Weir happens to think that that's just a beautiful demonstration of talent. In fact, I got a quote from her. Now she says, I've figured out the difference between Enfamil and Red Bull. So, you know, next time it's going to be much easier. Assurance from the wife.
I knew the kid was on the juice. There you go. She'll be doing that till Labor Day, if you let her.
Anyway, thanks for weighing in, as we knew you would. Let's go to Juju now for the news.
Good morning again, everyone. You know, we begin this morning with the devastating terror attacks in India. 8 bombs that shattered crowded commuter trains in Mumbai, killing nearly 200 people and injuring hundreds more. A militant group linked to Al-Qaeda is denying responsibility. And as investigators search for clues, millions of commuters piled back on trains this morning. And here at home, several cities beefed up security in response to those attacks, including New York and Houston. But the FBI says there is no credible threat to U.S. mass transit. In Chicago, it was an accident, not terrorism, that caused a fire in the subway. 150 riders were hurt when a train derailed. And breaking news out of the Middle East to tell you about: Israeli forces move into Lebanon after Hezbollah guerrillas kidnapped 2 of its soldiers. Israel is warning a heavy price will be paid for the kidnapping, something it considers an act of war. And President Bush is off to Europe this morning. He's stopping in Germany ahead of this weekend's G8 summit in Russia. This time, concerns over nuclear programs in North Korea and Iran are expected to overshadow disagreement over the war in Iraq. Well, Defense Secretary Rumsfeld is in Iraq on a surprise visit to U.S. troops and commanders there. As he left Afghanistan, Rumsfeld said Iraq's government isn't yet ready to take on security issues that would allow for reductions of U.S. forces. A third and final spacewalk in space this morning for 2 shuttle astronauts. They're using a cock gun to test a repair technique designed to fix any cracks on Discovery's wings. NASA is hoping the repair method could prevent a repeat of the Columbia disaster. Well, check out these dramatic pictures from Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Newly released surveillance video shows 2 Northwest airplanes colliding. The hydraulic system on the plane that comes in from behind had failed, and the pilot couldn't steer or stop. There were more than 140 passengers on both planes. Thankfully, no one was hurt seriously. Well, there's a setback for Kentucky Derby winner Barbaro to tell you about. His doctors now say an infection in his healthy left hind leg may be more serious than first thought. Barbaro's right hind leg, which he broke in May's Preakness, remains in a cast. And finally, a really full house from one Southern California family. These quadruplets, 2 boys and 2 girls, were born to Angela Magdaleno without fertility drugs. They joined the triplets that Angela had 3 years ago. You know, the chance of that happening is about 1 in 86,000. They're clearly not listening to anybody's viewer polls. It's the news at 8:05. Time now for the weather with Mike Bars, who has 3 children and is very happily ensconced.
That's right, Juju. I know you're thinking about possibly having 3 as well, and it gets a lot easier. In fact, Jack, Emma, and Ava, they all stopped by here this morning. When they get older, they can take care of themselves, go off to college. Which, by the way, Ava, why don't you call anymore? I'm cutting off the checks. Let's briefly get you caught up on the weather, folks. Tell you what's going on out there. And some rain will occur, some thunder shower activity in the northeast. Albany, see some showers today, 78. Pretty hot down here in Nashville at 89. And that joke went over really well with the studio audience. Thank you so much. Waco 97, Flagstaff 82. You see some thunder shower activity in the northern plains as well. 89 in St. Cloud. And I'm now going to quit my job. That's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. We are starting off the day with several showers across the region, especially in the Willamette Valley, but even in eastern Oregon, east of the Cascades, we're seeing some shower activity as well. The cold front has yet to move through the area, but should do so by about noon. We'll still see a leftover random shower or 2 and see a high between 70 and 72 degrees. Then tonight, the showers decrease dramatically in your 5-day forecast and 10-day trend, showing maybe a shower or 2 tomorrow morning, but then we dry out, and the weekend ahead is looking great with numbers in the mid to upper 80s.
Okay, so the joke is these aren't my real children. I have 3 at home that are under 5. Still not getting a laugh. Bill?
When you have to explain it, Mike, it's lost. Well, it is now 6 after the hour, and in today's Only in America, we're going to take you to a tiny school with a very big heart. This is a place we learned about through the New York Times. It's a place for the children of leukemia patients who go to Seattle for bone marrow transplants. And when it comes to personal kindness and attention, it is among the best schools in the country. It is tuition-free with an unheard of teacher-student ratio. And if you are very lucky, it is a place your children will never attend.
We are going to summarize our 5 themes of geography that we've been working on.
It is a typical morning at Hutch. A pair of high schoolers talk philosophy in one room. Middle schoolers share a lecture in another.
Climate. Climate, good. What else?
While downstairs, the little ones build a little Seattle. Do you want to be an architect?
Kind of.
Do you? I thought you wanted to be a movie star.
I did.
Oh, okay. A movie star and an architect. Don't limit yourself. They're kids of vastly different ages, vastly different backgrounds, all with one grim factor in common.
One day he went to get his blood drawn.
Each has a loved one with a 50-50 chance of survival.
Then the doctor looked at him like, that's not right. When I heard that, I never heard of cancer.
Hutch is the only school in the country operated by a hospital, but largely devoted to healthy children. As their uprooted families endure the long, grueling process of a bone marrow transplant, school becomes a haven, a place where the teachers must be ready for the most difficult of questions.
And in our culture, you know, we don't talk about death that directly or that openly. Kids do think about it, so letting them know that they can talk about it here, I think is reassuring for them.
In general, they are a lot stronger than we think they might be. We might be afraid to tell them certain things when in reality they already know. I tell you, I'd be able to go through something a lot better now if I had crisis in my life, gleaning what I've learned from these guys.
Whatever you do, don't smile. This little cutie is named Shoshana, and her patient is somewhat of a celebrity. Nope. You're gonna ruin the whole thing. Don't smile. Don't. Shoshana's mom is champion sled dog musher Susan Butcher. How many dogs do you have in your family?
98.
98 dogs. 7 months ago, her mom learned that the grind of the Iditarod is nothing compared to a certain diagnosis.
Finding out that I had leukemia, I mean, that's the only fear that I had was, how is this going to affect my kids? Because if you die, they're going to be motherless, so that's your first fear. Dr. Suzuki says never be lazy. And then the next one is that you're going to have to uproot the whole family for 6 to 9 months. You know, they certainly didn't want to do that. So this school, it's a godsend. It's just, it's amazing.
In addition to allowing their kids to be kids, this place also allows patients to be parents. And that is a welcome diversion from the chemo and radiation.
Yell at them go to bed and yell at them to eat, and you know, it's pretty much the same thing you have at home, and they want to go for ice cream. All right, let's see if I can get up and go, you know. So
yelling and ice cream therapy, right?
Something.
Occasionally, a little patient will join the class and enjoy a level of empathy hard to find in the average classroom.
We could see it when we go out, little kids staring at her or people saying things. And here it's just like,
Okay, she's bone, big deal.
Right.
There's me, and then there's Dakota on the bottom.
They call each day here their cancer journey, marking the 100 hopeful days between a successful transplant and checkout. Happy to be here, but so anxious to leave. So when a kid leaves, do they tell you they're leaving, or some days they just aren't here anymore?
Some days they're just not here anymore.
And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel a little sad. For like, I wonder what happened to them, or what happened to their patients.
Marley is still at Hutch, but her father is successful after his transplant. In fact, her mother told us laughingly that Marley used to introduce her dad and say, "This is my dad, and he has cancer." But she doesn't have to say that anymore. She corrects her and says, "Daddy doesn't have it anymore." And as for the others, the Holden family, he's recovering from his transplant. A few bumps on the road. Susan Butcher was scheduled to go into surgery a few weeks ago as well. And it was just stunning. You go to this place assuming there will be this fog of depression and trepidation. It's really a joyous place, and this is their reality, and they embrace it.
It's life and love still there, and may there be a lot of going for ice cream in all of their futures. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at these Hollywood stars. They have a new word for what young girls are learning from them. It's called thin-spiration. It's a serious thing. Coming.
Good Morning America's Only in America is brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices, always.
From flash to finish, it's as easy as connecting the dots. With online service, 1-hour processing, even home delivery, all at the Walmart price.
Where would you go for a delicious panini hot off the grill? How about your microwave? Try a Corner Bistro panini from Stouffer's. Cooked on our revolutionary grilling tray, they're the only panini that actually grill to perfection in your microwave. For a crispy, restaurant-inspired panini at home, try our full menu of Corner Bistro panini. And see what's cooking at Stouffer's.
Paul! Hey.
Oh, hey.
Here for your mortgage.
Actually, I'm using LendingTree instead.
Oh, you are? Why?
Well, they have banks competing, so their rates beat the national average.
We've been your bank for years. You can't just walk away.
Oh, I'm not. Since your bank is part of the LendingTree network, you can compete over me, too.
What?
And I want you to know, I'll be pulling for you. Good luck, buddy.
Join the 18 million people getting a better loan at LendingTree. When banks compete, you win.
Excuse me, Dr. Z, a quick question. What have been the benefits of the merger between Daimler-Benz and Chrysler?
Okay, get in.
Clearly, we have successfully combined the best in American and German engineering and design.
You might want to slow down just a tad.
For example, the Dodge Charger suspension originated in Germany. Since inventing the 4x4 SUV, we've improved Jeep fuel economy, and we are building a flex fuel Commander and Grand Cherokee.
Plus the world's cleanest diesel, not to mention 32 highway miles per gallon.
With state-of-the-art four-cylinder technology. The result? Better quality, performance, capability, and vehicles like this Chrysler Pacifica with the most safety and security features in its class.
Are you really a doctor?
Any more questions?
No. I'm good.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Get employee pricing plus 0% financing on 2006 Chrysler Jeep and Dodge vehicles. If not satisfied, simply return it within 30 days.
Dr. Robert Jarvik, inventor of the artificial heart.
The average heart beats 2 billion times. The heart is amazing, but high cholesterol can lead to heart disease. Lipitor can help. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Lipitor significantly lowers bad cholesterol, 39 to 60%. If you have several common risk factors for heart disease, Lipitor is clinically proven to reduce your risk of heart attack. And more cardiologists surveyed said they'd prescribe Lipitor for their own families than any other cholesterol-lowering brand. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. It's your heart. Ask if Lipitor is right for you.
Visit Lipitor.com for a free trial.
GMA's big coast-to-coast summer series, Vacationland USA, rolls on. And tomorrow, we're taking you live straight to Mount Rushmore, the Statue of Liberty, and all the beauty of our nation's capital. The GMA Vacationland USA Express takes you straight to America's beauties.
So we all know that so many of these young girls in Hollywood are rail thin, and so many of them keep saying, well, I eat everything I want. I eat everything like everybody else. Can this be true? What if you do the math? Juju has been looking into this question.
Well, we will do the math in a second, but first, it's a really sad statistic that 80% of 10-year-olds are afraid of being fat, and many of them are getting thinspiration, as it's now being called, from a growing list of A-list celebrities in young Hollywood who seem to be shrinking before our very eyes.
Female celebrities today are looking extremely thin. They look way too skinny. It's not natural. Far thinner than they did a decade or two ago.
They're the latest crop of shockingly thin celebrities, and the story's on the cover of next week's Us Weekly, asking the question, when does slender become anorexic?
More and more celebrities are losing weight very, very quickly. Kate Bosworth, Keira Knightley, Ellen Pompeo, the list goes on. Stars are just getting smaller and smaller.
Kate Bosworth made her big splash as the fit and healthy surfer girl in the movie Blue Crush. Post-Superman, she's been sporting quite a different look, where a size 0 dress looks too big. Today's New York Post nicknames tennis temptress Anna Kournikova anorexic. But Kournikova explains her new, less curvy physique by saying, quote, I'm naturally long, lean, and lanky. And what about Keira Knightley, whose breakout role was as a toned soccer jock in Bend It Like Beckham? Just last week, the Pirates of the Caribbean star looked radically transformed. At an estimated 100 pounds, you could see the ribs on her 5'7" frame. Knightley denied that she's anorexic, saying while she understood that some people in Hollywood are, she told a press conference that she's not.
They went, how does it feel to be always called anorexic? I had no idea that I was. I can safely say that I'm not. I've got a lot of experience with anorexia. It was in my family hugely. My grandmother and my great-grandmother suffered from it, and I've got a lot of friends at school who suffer from it, so I don't think it's anything to be taken lightly.
And just 2 weeks ago, Bosworth told Jay Leno her refrigerator was packed.
Do you cook at all?
Macaroni and cheese, you know,
Well, that's not
pasta.
cooking. That's...
We spoke to Jim Karras at Equinox Fitness.
I would respectfully say they are not telling you the truth.
He's not talking about specific girls, just a generation of thin celebrities for whom the math just doesn't add up.
For an actress to be, say, 5'7" and around 100 pounds, there is no way she is consuming more than 1,000 calories. And if it's their choice, they should be open and honest about it rather than misleading so much of the young American population when they're not.
Research shows teenage girls and boys are particularly vulnerable. Over 1/2 of teenage girls and nearly 1/3 of teenage boys use unhealthy weight control behaviors, such as skipping meals, fasting, smoking cigarettes, vomiting, and taking laxatives. Some websites reveal how young people are literally attempting to become like their pencil-thin idols. Images of emaciated celebrities and models provide what these sites call thinspiration, promoting unhealthy dieting as a way of life. And when it comes to those websites, new research published in European Eating Disorders Review found that teenagers with no history of eating disorders suffer from a drop in self-esteem and negative body image after just 25 minutes cruising on those websites.
Go back to 1,000 calories a day, because again, to sustain that kind of weight loss, 1,000 calories a day
is, if you're 5'7" and you weigh 100 pounds, that's 1,000 calories a day every day, and we have it here represented.
That's
this isn't
all
just
you could eat
That's
every
not just
day,
one
right
day.
here.
It's every day.
Blueberries, a yogurt, a bar, a power bar, and a little tuna.
Right, and
that's
again,
it. That's all.
All one day, and not just one day, but every day, as compared to what a normal person would eat. Excuse my terrible handwriting. To 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day.
So this could be a normal day for a person eating a normal amount of calories.
Right. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, all in moderation.
And if you exercised?
If you exercise, the equivalent is 1.5 hours to 2 hours of hard exercise every day, which is the equivalent of about 600 to 800 calories a day. But again, that's the kind of exercise that requires treadmills and serious cardiovascular.
So even with personal chefs and personal trainers, there's still an abnormal dearth of food. This is all they can have.
That's what they can have in one day.
And again, if you exercised 1.5 to 2 hours every day, that would be visible. Sometimes you see these girls and they don't look as if they're exercising.
But there are those who have come back from the brink, yeah?
There are some celebrities who've been seen putting on some weight. Lara Flynn Boyle for many years and Nicole Richie in some ways has transformed themselves. And I think part of what's so shocking is that you see it right before your very eyes. You see these young athletic stars suddenly turn into almost scrawny-looking stars.
Well, let's hear it for the ones. Lindsay Lohan said, I've got a problem. Hey, they told me I had a problem, and I woke up and realized it. And let's hear it for every one of them who says, hey, let's address this. Let's not just pretend it's beautiful.
And I do think the websites are a problem because you see these images posted and then you see diary entries of young people who are trying to draw inspiration from these celebrities.
And the psychological impact, as you said, just 30 minutes of watching these images changes in everybody's self.
When they say, oh, I eat a lot, this is what they're really eating.
Here it is. Every day. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Coming up next, are you on the daughter track? Taking care of an elderly parent, what it can do to a career, and some real help for everybody out there.
Work on that left hand.
Thanks for the jest, Mom.
Simple, everyday moments can be the perfect time to talk to your kids about not smoking, so you don't have to plan a big discussion.
Look, there's a dragonfly on one of the roller coasters.
Just your leg?
A little moment will do just fine. Talk to your kids about not smoking.
Smoking cigarettes can hurt your game too.
They'll listen.
Don't worry, Dad. I won't.
For conversation starters, log on to philipmorrisusa.com.
There are moments every mom feels invisible. That invisible mom feeling doesn't have to apply to your hair. Say yes to beautiful without paying the price. Suave.
This has to be a dream. Oh, Lord, this is true.
Would you like to be a Publishers Clearinghouse winner tomorrow?
Oh, this is incredible.
You can if you go to PCH.com right now. Enter today, win tomorrow.
I had almost given up.
This summer, you could be a millionaire.
Some people think if you have a really bad headache, you should take extra medicine. Problem is, that's not going to get rid of your headache faster. And taking too much of any medication, no matter how safe it is, can cause serious problems. Your health is important to us, so if you're not going to take the recommended dose of our medicine, I'd rather you just didn't take it. And if that means selling less Tylenol, that's fine with me.
stejně neumí plavat.
Your risks are always evolving. Shouldn't your insurance stay in sync? Travelers.
Introducing the wide-open Whirlpool Cabrio with the direct inject wash system that deep cleans up to 3 baskets of laundry in a single load. Because there's more to every day than just laundry. Whirlpool, inspired by you.
Good morning. This is K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julia Radlick. Here is what's making news. Children born into families where drug use occurs are at a distinct disadvantage. Many of them end up in foster care or in abusive or neglectful households. So one group has launched a controversial project to prevent those children from being born at all. The people behind Project Prevention are handing out $300 to drug addicts who get permanent birth control. Barbara Harris has made it her mission to prevent drug babies. Harris and her kids are traveling around the nation in their RV, offering money to any drug or alcohol addict who's willing to have permanent birth control. The addict can either get her tubes tied or have an implant installed.
They chose to become a drug addict. They chose to try drugs at whatever point in their life they did, but these babies don't have a choice. I've watched the way these children suffer. I've watched the way they withdraw from the drugs at birth, and it's not fair. They don't deserve that.
Not surprisingly, this program has its critics. Some say the $300 will only put more drugs or alcohol in the hands of the addict. Others maintain the plan amounts to little more than eugenics and coerces people to make a life-altering decision at a point in their lives when they may not be capable of realizing the consequences. The procedures are usually paid by Medicaid, and the cash reward comes later. So far, 1,800 women across the country have taken the group up on its offer. A man charged with stealing money from an elderly woman will be in court today. Timothy Porter is accused of withdrawing $1,500 from the account of Doreen Jones shortly before she died. He was caught on camera taking the money from the bank. Jones was a patient at Rocking Care, a nursing home run by Porter's wife. Your forecast for the day, looking a little showery, kind of gray weather, unusual for July for us, but we are seeing some rainfall around the region. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now from the Hood River Inn in the Columbia River Gorge. They are seeing plenty of cloud cover there, even a few showers moving through that region. And on the latest radar picture, you can see where those showers are. Now, the back edge of the cold front still has to move through the region, and it'll do so probably by about the noon hour or so. But even after that, residual leftover showers are still likely. It's currently 60 degrees in Portland, 59 in Vancouver, and 57 in Hillsborough, McMinnville, and Aurora. The capital, Salem, is checking in with 58 degrees. We have mostly cloudy skies across the valley, a little light rain falling in Scappoose, but everywhere has a chance of seeing a rain shower today. We should reach a high between 70 and 72 degrees this afternoon. Still a chance of a shower, but they will gradually wind down as the evening progresses, and then overnight tonight, we are looking at the rain stopping. 5-day forecast and 10-day trend. Still a slight chance of a shower tomorrow morning, but then we are completely dry after that. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, boy, things change quickly. We are looking at mid-80s to upper 80s on Saturday and Sunday, and lots of sunshine. We'll have more local news coming up at midday. That's at noon. We hope to see you then. Otherwise, have a great day.
My daughter,
my son, joined the National Guard.
The change is a complete 180 degrees. She's matured.
He was more focused. There are some real great opportunities to get a college education. We supported her 100%.
Find out more about the Guard at 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
From Kathmandu to Kalamazoo, right to your own backyard, Jeopardy takes you there. We're bringing you the world one clue at a time. Where will we take you next? Find out on the next Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7 on K2, the spirit of the Northwest. This is K2, the spirit of the Northwest. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
The air in the average American home is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outside.
you. Give me my CD.
But now, Train introduces the first central air system that removes up to 99.98% of the allergens from all the air that it heats or cools. Train Clean Effects. Isn't it time you expected more from your system? See how it works at train.com.
It's the 18th annual Da Vinci Days Festival happening in Corvallis, July 14th through the 16th. Join the adventure, stay for the amusement as street performers mix with science and technology. It's the 2006 Da Vinci Days Festival and Celebration.
We dug into the Martha archives to find
lots of fun summertime ideas.
Next, Martha, it's hot outside.
Cool things down.
With a show full of hot ideas for keeping cool.
Just like that.
Let's start with a refreshing frozen dessert.
A delightful end to any meal.
With the delightful Lorraine Bracco. Then, cool off with a sponge fight.
The kids are going to have a ball.
Plus, turn plain flip-flops into the coolest trend.
Match my outfit.
The best summer ideas that never go out of style. Next, Martha.
Today at 11 on K2, The Spirit of the Northwest.
Watch Jeopardy! Tonight at 7 here on K2.
Forget email, forget snail mail. How about balloon mail? What would happen if you attached a little note to 30 balloons and set them off from the Midwest? How soon before your message would be responded to? Well, this morning you're going to meet the little girl who set them free, and you're going to meet the grandma who found them half a country away.
It's so great, isn't it? Because you always imagine it, but you do think they probably sink like it's down. No, wait to see how far these traveled this morning. Welcome back, everybody. Robin is on vacation. Bill Weir is here this morning. And we're also going to explore in this half hour what they're calling the daughter track. It is a new phenomenon on the rise. Women putting their careers on the back burner to care for aging parents. How do you make a decision to do that? If you do it, how do you cope financially? We have some great tips on how to make the daughter track work for you. And before you head to the beach, grab your shades, because we have tips on the best ones. Not just fashion, but safety.
Right, you're part of our best summer ever. We want you to look fabulous as a Good Morning America intern. That's all of them.
Here's how they spent their summer vacation, working for GMA.
But before we get to all of that, let's go to Mike Barr's latest check of the weather. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun here this morning. Check out these balloons. They don't look so muddy, but in fact, they traveled 630 miles. Anna here, who is 9 years old, lives in Grand Rapids, Michigan, right?
Yep.
And they traveled all the way to Connecticut, and we're going to meet the young woman, the older woman who actually found these balloons. You guys are going to be brought together. How does that sound?
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff. All right. I bet you didn't think they would travel that far, huh?
No, I didn't.
No. You're not going to be flying any balloons today, certainly in the Northeast, because they won't go very far without the thunderstorm activity, folks. Check out the map. See the activity here. Pretty wet map in the Northeast. A chance of a tornado or two as well. Heavy rain extends down to the southern plains. Rockies and South Florida will have thunderstorms, some heavy rain and flooding. Wednesday's highs hot in the west, near record high 113 in Phoenix, 102 in Rapid City, 91 in Orlando. It's cooler in the Northwest, 67 in Seattle, 69 in Anchorage, Alaska. And that's a brief look at the national picture. Here's what's happening near you.
Good morning, everyone. We're looking at scattered showers throughout the day today here in the Portland metro area. A cold front moving through the region will continue to bring us an on and off chance of rain throughout the day, gradually decreasing tonight and maybe a random shower tomorrow morning. But then we begin to dry out tomorrow afternoon.
And this portion of the weather brought to you by Whirlpool. You excited? We're gonna meet the woman who found these balloons coming up later on this half hour. Diane?
Okay, Mike, as we said, it's called the daughter track. Women sacrificing careers and sometimes a feeling of sanity to take care of aging parents in addition to everything else. To be there in the twilight of their parents' lives, a choice that is fraught with heavy tolls and rich rewards. Just ask Gina Petroselli, one of the millions of women navigating these uncharted waters.
Come see Grandma.
Thank you. Love and stress for 49-year-old flight attendant Gina Petroselli, who's taken on the role of primary caregiver for 84-year-old mother Millie, who suffered 2 major strokes. Gina has 2 brothers who do not provide daily help.
People have asked me, why do you do it? And I think, how could I not?
She has been very, very helpful, and it's been rather strenuous because she has her job. She worries about me.
Gina is part of a growing number of estimated 20 million Americans, mostly women, who juggle caring for elderly parents and building their careers. For Gina, striking a balance is a struggle.
I'm more concerned about that it might look like I can't do the job, you know, because of my personal situation. And so I'm always kind of trying to prove to them that I'll be there, you know, and I haven't missed yet.
But as the years go by, Gina knows her mother will need even more attention. So she's seeing the impact of that on her flight attendant career.
There's opportunities that I haven't explored because it would necessitate a move. I've got a lot of responsibilities with her. Help me to not lose heart when I stumble.
Gina says she's not daunted. But as her mother gets to spend golden years at home with family, there are choices.
You just do the best you can, and at the end of the day, I say, okay, we made it through another day, you know, give me strength for tomorrow.
Hard choices. We first read about Gina in More magazine, which made us wonder, how do you make the daughter track work for you? We'll hear with some answers is Mary Lou Quinlan, CEO of Just Ask a Woman and columnist for More magazine. It's good to have you here, Mary Lou.
Thanks.
All right, so a woman like Gina is one of so many. 33% of working women who care for someone else are taking time off, 29% passing up promotions. How do you sit down and say, I've got to make some decisions here? Where do you begin?
I think you begin with yourself and your parent, because you need to understand how your parent is looking at the rest of his or her life. Where do they want to live? What are their financial resources? And what about you? Like, what do you want out of your job, out of your life? What can you do to help?
But quitting your job should be
last resort. Absolutely, because you need your salary, you need your benefits. Maybe your benefits could even help your parent. And women find that their job is their haven. It's the escape and the normalcy that they are going to crave as things get tough.
You have said one of the things you need to do is explore what's available in your corporation, also in insurance, online sources to get help, that there's a lot out there for caregiving of the elderly that we don't know about right now.
There really is, and this is like a new school to go to. We don't realize that our companies might have programs, there are community programs, insurance has extra possibilities.
Regular insurance has provisions in
Absolutely, and you haven't looked into tapping into what you may already be paying for.
There are silent setbacks for women, too, and those are missing the promotions.
That's true, because you might be reluctant to take on a relocation, travel. You don't want a job with more hours, so you don't say it, but bit by bit, you might start to erode your success.
So what do? Do you go into a boss and say, let me tell you the reality of my life, or do you just try to make sure they never notice that you're under that strain?
Well, the sad but good news is that that boss may be in the same seat, because all of us will be facing this. But when you go to your boss, think of it as a business plan. I mean, how can I do a win-win so that I ask perhaps for part-time, a leave, some way that maybe you take on the job that nobody wants to do, that you can do on your days off, but try to hold on to part of that job because you're going to need it.
In addition to dealing with your boss, you've got to deal with your parent who's used to taking care of you and telling you what to do. Pride is a big, big thing. How do you sit down with an elderly parent and say, let's see how you really feel about a nursing home, and what is it you really need in daily life? Can I give it?
Right. Well, first of all, you are the daughter. Even if you feel like the mother, you're the daughter. And you need to give back that respect, and especially dignity at that time in your life. People are all poking into you, and you need to give that back to your parent. But set aside time, like a meeting, where you say, we're going to just go through a couple of the basics. Where would you like to live? Do you have a living will? What are your Medicare arrangements? And make it something that is easy to talk through. Don't try to get through every
price, and they're fast.
Call 1-800-BATHTUB. Rebath, America's refreshing remodel.